Hey, so today we are going to tackle and we're going to move into talking a little bit more about making that mindset shift, right? But before we get into the video, how about you subscribe to the channel and do me another favor and in the comments below, type I subscribed and I will personally reply to your comment. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's get into it. So, mindset, making a mindset shift. So let's recap really quick on what we've done so far. So the first day, we talked about a personal demolition plan, which basically is like demolishing all of the old and coming into the new. And the new would be your new mindset shift, the new things that you want to bring into your life, how you want to see your future and the things that you want to do versus how you've been seeing them, right? So a personal demolition plan, creating a new reality. And so we touched on, actually, the journal prompts for that day were, what do I need more of in my life? That was one. Two was, what do I need to let go of? Like what fears or toxic relationships, things of that nature. And number three was, what are some of the limiting beliefs that may be holding me back? Okay, so that was day one. Day one, those were the three things that we were supposed to journal about, maybe even meditate on and think about a little bit more in depth. Okay, and so day two, we went over creating a new reality, but on the positive side, right? Or maybe on a different note, right? We're talking about what we don't want and the things that we needed to let go on the first day. The second day, I wanted to bring the level up a little bit. So we talked about, what are you, grateful for? Being grateful for what you already have, right? So that was number one. Number two was creating a vision board, right? Putting it somewhere where you can see it every day, look at it day and night, but taking the time to put together a board of all of the things that you want to bring into your life. It's very powerful, very powerful. The third thing was believe that you already have what it is that you desire, right? So speaking in the present tense about whatever it is that you want, speaking as if it already exists in your life. So that was day one and day two. So today, I really just want to reiterate, right? And kind of talk a little bit more in depth about the power of changing your mind. My first question though is, how serious are you about your mindset shift? And I think that people take mindset a little bit lightly, or they might even look at others and think to themselves like, wow, this person is wise, or that person, they said the right thing at the right time and things of that nature. But I think sometimes people don't really know and realize that it's taken that person years to get there, right? There's lots of trial and error that has taken place. There's lots of like bumping your head and going backwards. And then let's just be real. There's still times that you are going to go into those old thoughts, or different things are going to come up. But the difference in acting in old ways and the difference in old things coming up is that you have tools, you have things that you do, things that you say to yourself, or ways of being that can bring you back to the positive side. Whereas when you don't, and you're not working on it, and you're not really aware of how you're showing up, then it could just be a vicious cycle. So in other words, when you think negatively or when you think badly, you will continue to think that way until you make a change. It's just that simple. Like it's always going to be that way until you make the decision and you decide, I don't want to be this way anymore. I want to be different. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that, but I'm going to start. Right? Because in the very beginning, we were looking at um, rewiring our limiting beliefs, right? Limiting beliefs are thinking, small, right? Limiting, right? No, we want to think big. We want to think large. We want to think expansive. We want to take things to the next level, right? So we're also, destroying fear. That's a huge undertaking, but it's worth it. It's worth it to get a handle on fear, because, just think about our climate right now. Like, everything is about fear. Everything. And when you are engulfed in that type of mindset, a lot of times there's no getting around that. But let's just be clear, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't make you any happier. It could possibly cause, drama or arguments and things of that nature. And you could really be acting outside of who you really are because you're so fearful. So being rippled with fear, acting out of fear, and things of that nature is never going to, it's never going to bring you happiness. It's never going to bring you joy. It's never going to bring you, peace. It's never going to bring you any of those things. So making the decision that you're going to get outside and destroy fear in your mind, and giving yourselves the tools and the tactics and stuff to go about doing that is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And no one is saying that this is going to happen overnight. And I just want to say that all the time, because I think a lot of times we're looking for these like little quick fixes. What you've always done and deciding that you're going to change it is definitely not going to happen overnight. Let's just think about that for a second. Let's ponder on that. How is that possible? How is it possible for you to, maybe have a negative mindset, and then, so Monday you have a negative mindset, Tuesday you have a negative mindset, but Wednesday you're like, you know what, I'm going to change. And then on Friday you're like, this stuff doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. There's so many things in your life that have caused you to be the way that you are, caused you to act the way that you do, caused you to think the way that you do. That's something that you're going to have to work on doing, which is why, and I'll bring this up because I know I brought it up the other day, which is why things like having a morning routine, listening to positive affirmations or stating positive affirmations, scripting, writing, journaling, the things that you want to bring into your life, the things that you're excited about, the things that have happened, writing a gratitude journal, writing down things that you're grateful for. All of these things are working on shifting your mind to another way of thinking and another way of being. And so that's one of the reasons. I mean, there's so many reasons why I love a morning routine, but that's one of the reasons, because it literally helped me to change my mindset and all kinds of other things. So there is nothing more powerful than a changed mind. There really isn't. And it's not hard. It just takes constant repetition. That's all. It just takes constant repetition. And wouldn't you like to be in a place where you could look back, like, let's just say, last year this time, wow, I'm a totally different person, or I feel totally different, or I would have done this 2 years ago, but today I realize, like, things in my life have improved, things in my life have changed. I don't see things the same way. We are really what we think. And so, there were times in the past 2 years where there were lots of people that were, getting into arguments and fighting and things of that nature over different subjects, or, different people and things of that nature. And that's still taking place today. It's not like it's any different, but I'm just talking about a time when anxiety was high, when fear was high, and it was because of the unknown. But a lot of times, if we have, i.e., like a relationship with God, if we have a practice that we do every day that will take us from here to here, then a lot of those things can be eliminated. A lot of those things can just not be even a part of our lifestyle anymore if we would just take on some of these things. So I really just wanted to kind of sort of reiterate some things, every day you should guard the door of your mind every single day. And those things are done with, practices, instead of getting up in the morning and saying, oh, I don't really like those people that I work with, or I've got to, be in traffic for 20 minutes, or I just hate this drive. All of these things that we're saying, we're setting our day up for negativity. We're setting our day up for things not to turn out right. If you start your day like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the best day ever. Like I'm looking forward to going to dinner with my husband when I get off work, or going to my kids, blah, 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 or taking a bath and listening to some soothing music when I get home, or I'm looking forward to having lunch with blah, 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 or whatever. Today's going to be a great day because I said so. Today I am going to whatever. Just, elaborate on how your particular day can be great. Speak whatever it is that you want into existence versus the latter. It's so powerful. And the more that you do it every single solitary day, the more that you're building yourself up instead of tearing yourself down. Because there's enough of that going on in the world anyway, right? There's enough negativity. There's enough things that are not necessarily powerful. And that's another thing too, I think it's very important, and I know a lot of people think that this is crazy, but I think it's very important for you to shield your mind, to shield the things that you allow to come into your life, to shield the people that are in your life. If there are negative people in your life, that might be something that you want to look at, to shield it. And so I personally tell people that I work with, social media, we've got to minimize it. If not, just put it away for a little while. Watching certain movies that are going to promote negativity, certain shows and things of that nature. Let's put those things away while we're working on, dissecting how we think, what we think about, what we say, And I know a lot of this comes from environment. So sometimes, that's why I said sometimes you have to kind of isolate yourself from people that are not in agreement with what it is that you're doing, And that could, it could be as difficult as someone that lives in the same household with you. But it's possible. All things are possible. It's just a determination as to what it is that you deem is possible, how it is that you want to feel, and what it is that you want to do about the situation. So I really just, I really want to hear whether or not you've done, how you did on day one, how you did on day two, and whether or not any of these things are resonating with you, whether or not this is something that you're taking seriously and that you're working on. That's really what I want to hear. So besides the fact that I would like you to put I subscribed in the comments so that I can reply to your comment, I would love to hear whether or not any of these things are helping you, any of these things make sense, any of these things are any of the things that you're working towards. That would be great. So I'm going to end it here. I will be back tomorrow with another subject. I might just expand on mindset. I just think that it's such an important thing to improve and to add to your life. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say. So have a great one, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening to me.